Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay. Today we're doing a ton of first impressions here, some very exciting new products I want to try out on camera and let you guys know my first thoughts on them. So let's just get into the video. Before I start, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I would love for you to join me and give this video a like. Let's try to get this video to 220 likes, but let's get started. All right, let's get started. I have a ton of new stuff I want to share with you guys today. First off, I have the brand new SPF from First Aid. I don't talk a ton about SPF, but it is so important to wear every day. And I feel like I've tried a lot of mineral sunscreens and all of them are really thick or super greasy. And I've been looking for one that's lightweight and just like doesn't feel like anything on my skin. I tried this one for the first time yesterday and I have really high hopes for it. It's just called their Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen with Zinc Oxide SPF 30, so it is mineral, it's fragrance free, safe for sensitive skin, and it does have a little bit of a tint to it. You do have to shake this. It reminds me of like a big Kosas tinted face oil. So it has like a little bit of a peachiness to it, which I feel like is brightening on my skin. It is so subtle though, so I feel like it would work for any skin tone, hopefully. And this almost feels like a gel. Like it doesn't feel chalky or greasy. I just love the texture of this so far. I'm going to take a little bit more for my neck as well. So that's it. I feel like it's so easy to rub in. If you tried mineral sunscreens, sometimes if they're really, really white, like you have to blend them in for so long and they can still have a white cast. But I mean, I am fair skinned, so I can't really tell if there's a lot of a white cast. But I think the tint really helped. I feel like it brightened my face a little bit too. So far I have really, really impressed with this and can't wait to continue to use it. And I feel like if you have dry to oily skin, you would like this because it does feel moisturizing, but it doesn't like look greasy, and it's also not too matte where it feels like or looks like it's gonna cling to dry patches. So I feel like this would be a good one for everybody. Maybe more on like the normal oily side, you'd prefer this. If you want something super moisturizing, I mean, I feel like this is just, it's a little bit more on the satin side. Next, I have a new foundation. This is the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. I picked this up because I feel like I'm still on the hunt for a full coverage foundation. There is a couple that I like the Bite Beauty one and the Elia one, but those are more medium coverage. And I know this isn't the cleanest. There is a couple ingredients some of you guys might not prefer. I think there is phenoxyethanol in this, I believe, but it's formulated without mineral oil, parabens, phthalates, synthetic fragrance, and it's cruelty-free and dermatologist tested. I test this out because I want to bring more brands to you guys and not just like a very specific fit in a box clean beauty type of product, because personally for me, I like to look to other brands that aren't necessarily labeled as clean, look at their ingredients, and if I'm comfortable with trying it out. I also really recommend you guys to do the same, because I feel like you can find a lot of products that you're like, oh, the ingredients aren't really that bad. Instead of just looking for things that are marketed or labeled as clean, it can go the other way. Things that are labeled as clean, maybe you're not comfortable with those ingredients either. So just something I want to say. Anyway, this is supposed to be full coverage, natural finish. I got the shade light medium and it has a doe foot applicator. And I'm going to start just by swiping this on my face. I'm using a foundation brush to tap it in. I wore this for a little bit yesterday and I think it was really nice. It definitely has a more satin finish. It got pretty glowy because I didn't set it. So I'm going to set it today and see what it's looking like at the end of the day. But with a brush, I feel like you definitely get a really good amount of coverage. Also isn't a scent to it, which I really like about this. And I'm just going to do the same for this side of my face. I heard Ellie Glines talk about this. I was really interested in trying it. Finally picked it up from Sephora. Feels like it's one of those foundations too that you could have it be lighter coverage if you wanted to. I think if you use this with a sponge and use less product than I'm using now, you could get like a medium, more fresh looking coverage. Well, it looks fresh, I just mean lighter coverage. So far, I think this looks so pretty. I love when foundations have like a more satin finish, even though I have oilier skin. I think it just looks a lot more natural, and usually they're more blendable. And I think this foundation is very easy to blend out. It's not getting patchy or anything of that nature. I'm just gonna grab my sponge now and blend out my forehead. And I'm gonna go over the rest of my face to pick up any extra product. Here's what it looks like up close. I think this foundation like looks so pretty on the skin. It's one of the most, I feel like, beautiful foundations I've put on. Definitely is more satin. You get a little bit of like a glow to your skin, but it doesn't feel heavy or anything. I'm also really impressed with the coverage of just one layer. Like, it covered most of my redness, my acne scarring, and that's really my goal here. I'd rather have a full coverage foundation that I could get the coverage I want with one light layer instead of having to add more product with a medium coverage foundation, because it's more likely to look cakey. So far, I'm feeling it. Next, I'm going to do a little spot concealing with the Kosas. This is the O2 concealer. This isn't a first impressions, but I've been playing around with this a little bit more. Should probably do a darker shade. That's alright. Just doing some spot concealing here, as I mentioned. Next, for concealer, I have the Haley's Revive Concealer Cream. Another brand that's sort of in that middle in terms of ingredients. Depends on what you're comfortable using or not. I did use this before. I actually got it in the summer, but I haven't used it since, so I kind of forgot what I thought about it. So in a way, it's like a first impression, but I'm just going to try this under the eyes. It has one of those like flat little doe foots. This does have, I feel like, a paint smell to it, which really isn't ideal. So if you're sensitive to those scents, you definitely would not like this. Blend this with my sponge. It is really light in like consistency. I think it looks good on the skin so far. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. Alright, there's that. I like how it looks so far. I'm actually really impressed with the whole base. I'm going to set with my Ilia Soft Focus finishing powder under the eyes. If you guys haven't tried this powder yet, please do. It's one of my top recommendations, honestly, in all of clean beauty. Not necessarily for oil controlling, but for like a smooth airbrush looking under eyes. If you have problems with your under eyes looking like dry or cakey or just not good, like, I feel like this powder was just made. I feel like it was made for me and people like me who have problems with under eyes looking not the best. I do like this for all over the face, by the way. It's just not like an oil controlling powder, so if you buy it expecting it to be like that, like, it does stop oil a little bit, but it's not like super mattifying. I'm just taking whatever's left to set the rest of my face lightly. Here's another look at the base. I wanted to show you guys again because I'm just really enjoying how it looks. I feel like it's just really flawless and full coverage, which is a rare find for me as a nice full coverage foundation. If you guys want me to review any foundations, even if they're not labeled as clean or you're just curious about the ingredients, I would love to review them for you guys because I'm really open in terms of looking at ingredients and just trying out the foundation, see if it works for me, because I know some people, like, everyone's different in terms of what they think is clean, what they're comfortable with using, and I just want to like bring a wider variety of products. So any foundation you're interested in, drop it below and I might review it for you. For bronzer, of course, I'm using my Hourglass Nude Bronze Light. I just really can't stop using this. I don't know what else to say about it. It's really good. I'm doing a video tips for textured skin for like foundation and stuff, because I feel like there's certain techniques that could really like ruin your base. I've noticed that if I have like foundation, even if I have powder on and I like will swipe here, that's where a lot of my texture is, like, it makes it look 10 times worse. There's just a couple of tips I have too in terms of like under eyes and just overall base application. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Pure Bronzing Act Light, which is another one of my favorite bronzers. It's lighter and matte, just to add some more depth. Next, we have some new exciting blush launches from Persona Cosmetics. I really love their eyeshadows. They came out with new super blushes. Two shades here, Caramel and Georgia. Caramel is this really pretty mauve, sort of like my Hourglass one, and then Georgia is this peachy tone. I'll swatch them for you. They both have like a sheen to them, but not really any visible shimmer, which I like. And they are definitely a more powdery formula, but they pack a lot of pigment. So those are the two shades. I did try this one before and really liked it, but I think I'm gonna try this one just because I feel like I'm wearing an orange sweater, so I have to. It's the rule. This is a really pretty peach. I like how it doesn't lean too orange or too like bright pink. Usually I'm like not a fan of these tones on my skin, but I feel like this one, you know, it's just a nice pretty blush color. I don't have a new highlight to try, but I did just order the Milk Makeup Flex Highlight. So until I can try that one, I'm going to use the Honest Beauty. This is the Midnight Reflection powder. I'm using a Bodyography fan brush. This is a really nice everyday highlight because it doesn't really look like highlight. Just super natural looking, not very metallic. Another thing I wanted to mention about the Wander Beauty foundation, I actually really like the doe foot because like you don't have to get the back of your hand dirty from foundation. So that's cool. Just make sure you're like using this on a clean face. Brows, I'm using my Thrive Cosmetics brow pencil. I use the shade Christina. And I do work with, a couple of you guys commented about this. I work with Thrive Cosmetics on some of their ads. So if you guys see me in a Thrive ad, say hi. I don't know how you'd say hi. Comment. I don't know. But yeah, I love working with them. I think they're a great company. Just gonna fill in very lightly here. I love the shade. It's like perfect tone. I just did a very light brow and I have a couple eyeshadows I want to talk about. With these Ofra palettes, I looked at the ingredients of these and I was really surprised. These don't have any talc. They don't have any aluminum. They do have phenoxyethanol. So again, depends on what you guys are comfortable using. But these are so pretty. And I actually want to try some of their highlighters now that I know that they're talc-free and stuff. This one is called Sweet Dreams, which has been my favorite. Like, these tones are so pretty. And this one is called the Signature Palette Galaxy. I'll have to do some looks with these if you guys are interested, but I wanted to mention these if you're looking for some fun eyeshadows. That ingredients are pretty good. They're also vegan and cruelty-free. And then I wanted to mention the Natasha Denona. This is the Lila palette. Again, something I was just looking at the ingredients and surprised by. This one does have talc in it, but I believe this one is free of aluminum and phenoxyethanol. Might be wrong with those, but I remember looking at it and being like, I would try it out. Some of the shades have talc, some don't, so you could just take a peek. But this one's really pretty. You get these like rich berry tones and then these two neutrals, which I think I am going to start with this like neutral shade right here, which is called Flint. I'm just taking that on a fluffy brush for my crease. And these eyeshadows are so nice. I've been wanting to try these formulas for the longest time. I like the most smooth and buttery shadows. I would use these palettes, but I feel like they're a little bright, especially with my sweater going on. So I'm gonna go with something neutral. Where is it? The Ilia. This is the Warm Nude palette. I feel like I haven't used this in a while and I just really like the warm tones in here. I'm gonna start with this light peachy tone. Putting that like in the same place just as a transition crease shade. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this mustardy type of shade, put that closer to my crease, even though it's like a little bit lighter. So just remembered my Little Makeup Geek palette has this mustardy shade, so I'm going to use this one as well. I've been really enjoying these. I feel like I never really gave you guys my opinion on these, but they're really nice. Great pigment. Really good option if you like need some shades that aren't available in some clean beauty palettes. I think these shades were so weird. I mean, they kind of look weird in the pan, but I think on like my eye color, it's just really good warm shade. Alright guys, so I went ahead and finished up my eyes. I did some liner, smoked it out, and put on the Eyelure Jasmine Brown lashes that I always mention. I also have some other lashes I wanted to mention to you guys. The Velour. It's called their Lash of the Day collections. I have 3 styles of these. Vegan, cruelty-free, and they're more affordable than their other ones because I believe the other ones are mink or something like that. But these are so pretty. I've always wanted like a really nice pair of lashes, but you know, there's not a lot of cruelty-free ones. Most of them are mink or something like that, but these ones are just really beautiful. I forgot this specific style. All really pretty. They're like a natural, they're super natural looking, but they are more on the dramatic side. So if you guys like lashes, I wanted to point those out. Moving on to lips, I do have a couple new lip products. This is the Bite Beauty. It's their Line and Define Lip Primer. I feel like products like this usually don't do anything at all besides be a lip balm, but I'm gonna try them out and see if it actually does anything. It is minty, which is nice. For a lipstick, I have the Ilia Color Block lipstick in Amber Light. This reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, actually. It's a little similar. This one's a tiny bit deeper, and I feel like it's a little more mauve than Pillow Talk, but it is just a similar like classic pink. This is my first Ilia lipstick. I have tried their lip tints, but never lipstick. They're really pretty and they go on super smooth. Alright guys, that was everything for this face. I'm gonna finish my hair and I'll be right back. So I'm gonna do like a little roundup of my thoughts of each of these products that I tried today. First, starting with the First Aid sunscreen. Love the texture of this, love how it feels on the skin. I have really high hopes for this. It feels really gentle, hasn't irritated my skin in the time that I've used it. I've only used it 2 times, but I just really like it, and the consistency I feel like is exactly what I want in a sunscreen that I've been looking for the longest time. Mineral sunscreens can be kind of tricky to like figure out which one works for you, and a lot of them just really aren't good. So yes, really excited about this. Next, the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. I love how the base looks right now. Like, I haven't been this impressed with a foundation besides like the Bite Beauty one in a really long time. I think it looks so pretty and natural. It has the perfect satin finish to it. I will update you guys on how it wears. Maybe I'll do a whole separate review video and wear test. If you guys want to see that for this, definitely let me know, because I also have high hopes for this working out. So far with application and finish and coverage, I really like it. To the Hailey's Beauty Revive Concealer Cream. I do really like this. It's a really lightweight concealer. The smell is a little off-putting. I wish it didn't have that like paint smell to it, but it looks really nice on the skin. I don't really think the scent lingers because I haven't noticed it since I put on. But yeah, it looks really smooth. It's set nicely and it isn't looking like cakey or anything, and usually I have trouble with concealers, so also have high hopes for that one working out. Persona Super Blushes, really like these. They are a little powdery, but they're kind of just like how the Anastasia shadows are powdery. It's just they're really pigmented, and I can like, I'm not going to complain about the powderiness because it's just really a nice formula, even if it's powdery, you know. I think it's pigmented. I like how they have a glow to them, but they're not, like, you can't tell on the skin. So especially if you have textured skin, I think you would really like these. They do only have 2 shades at the moment, but I think they're, I mean, they look really nice on the skin. Everything I put on my face, I've just been really liking how it looks when I've been looking in the mirror. So yes to these as well. Next, eyeshadows. Love the Natasha Denona formula. Maybe I'll do some other looks like using those purples. Same with these Ofra palettes. I would really recommend them if you're looking for some fun eyeshadows. I like how like portable all of these are as well. Like, these are great little travel palettes. They're not too large and obnoxious. Bite Beauty Lip Primer. I have to keep using this. I really can't tell if it's made a difference or not, so the verdict is still out on that. But with the new Ilia Color Block, why do I keep saying that? The new Ilia Color Block lipstick, I don't think this is new, it's new to me, in the shade Amber Light. I really love this shade. Like, this is my go-to type of everyday shade. Really pretty. I like their packaging, and I think it went on super smoothly, so we'll see how it wears. And I think that was everything. I mentioned the velour lashes I've been loving. Okay, guys, that's gonna wrap up our first impressions video. I will link everything below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you to join me and like this video if you did enjoy it. Let's try to get this video to 220 likes. Hopefully you guys can do that for me. Give this video a thumbs up. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.